Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Fourth Sector podcast. You are joined by myself, Cal, and Luke and Joe. How are we feeling today, gentlemen?
Groovy.
Groovy.
Super groovy, bruv.
Super groovy. The common feeling for a Thursday evening. We are a Formula One podcast, one of the few in the world, and we just sort of wanted to introduce ourselves a little bit again before we get talking about today's main topics, which is the Miami Grand Prix.
We saw a gap in the market, didn't we?
We realised that no one's ever done this, and
I'm here against my will.
Luke does have a gun to his head behind the camera as well. We just, we're a few lads. We've all been into Formula One for a varying amount of times, and it kind of leads to quite an amusing clash in everything, really. But yeah, so we've done some previous podcasts under a different name. So if you want to catch up with those and sort of catch up to this point, that's head over to the Invader Sports channels on Spotify and stuff, and you can catch it there. But is there any sort of introductions you want to make for yourselves, gentlemen, or are we just going to go straight in?
I think it's quite obvious who your favourite driver is, Cal. Yeah. But I think maybe if for anyone that hasn't listened to us before, we could probably go through our favourite teams and favourite drivers. I know we're on a tight schedule today, but might be fun.
Okay, well, I'm a massive Lewis Hamilton fan, and have been for a long, long time. For those that aren't watching and are listening, I currently have like a green screen background with a big Lewis Hamilton behind me as well. But I do just love McLaren as a team, I think, just through watching them growing up. And to be honest, I'm just not the biggest fan of Red Bull, but other than that, I like everyone at least a little bit. And that's about me, really. No agendas here. No agendas.
Oh, definitely not. You never have an agenda. Never in your wildest dreams would you.
I've never once had an agenda against any team.
No, not at all.
Go on, Luke. It's for yours. Oh no, it's fine. You're in.
Mine. Do you know what? I was thinking about it the other day, and I really started getting into Formula One when I think like the first season where I generally paid attention was when Jenson Button was obviously at Braun GP.
Yeah.
And then I think the season when he went to McLaren was like the first time where I kind of had a favorite driver and a favorite team, and kind of stuck with McLaren since. Obviously now very lucky to have Lando Norris and Daniel Ricciardo, two drivers that I really like. But yeah, I'd love to see Lando go on to win a championship one day.
I think he will, to be honest.
I think he could. I think he's got it in him. It just depends, obviously, right? Like we're so early in the new regulations, whether or not McLaren have a good car or not will you yet to be seen. But I'd love to see Lando go on to win something.
Joe, do you want to complete the McLaren trifecta?
Yeah, I'm a big McLaren fan. Yeah, I mean, I was very casual as a kid. My dad and my granddad both loved Formula One. So I sort of like absorbed a little bit of what's going on then. Being British, anytime it was on, I'd be cheering for Lewis Hamilton. And that was sort of it as a kid. That was kind of all I had. And then probably about 4 or 5 years ago.
Do you realise there's other teams?
Yeah, me and Luke, we just started chatting about it, didn't we? It was just sort of something that came up in conversation, being friends outside of the podcast and stuff. And I did, the Drive to Survive route in as well, starting with season 1. And I was just like, you know what? I'm in. So I've been watching properly, like, Friday, Saturday, Sunday for like 3 years now. But started paying attention maybe 4 or 5 years ago. But big McLaren fan. And to be honest, if I had to pick 2 favourite drivers, they would be Lando Norris and Daniel Ricciardo. Just likeable personalities on the grid. And both seem to be really great guys. Make for some funny McLaren unboxed videos on YouTube, don't they?
I think they're definitely one of the best for like the social media content and stuff, like as a duo. They definitely, and I think McLaren know that, and they're using that quite a lot, because you see a lot more with them than you do with like Gasly and Tsunoda, for example. You don't really see,
which is also good content. Their TikToks are class, Avatar.
Yeah, so Yeah, it's that's us basically. But I would like to think that we're like biased, but also completely not biased at the same time. Anyone can get it at any point.
Mostly just Nicholas Latifi.
You're just ready to try and ruin anyone. That's just
yeah. We the slander gets dished out fairly, is how I would put it. Yeah, for sure.
Generally at Canadians.
Generally at Nicholas Latifi and Alex. Yeah.
Last Stroll.
Yeah, last Stroll. Yeah, bless him. He does get it a lot. But yeah, we are here to talk about the Miami Grand Prix. This is where we would be at if we were still under our old domain. So we're going to just carry on from there. So, gentlemen, we are in Miami for the first time in a brand new track. What have you seen about it? What do you like? What's our initial thoughts?
Well,
I'll let Joe go first because he's got some very big dislikes.
I hate everything I've seen so far. With the fake harbour that I thought at least they're going to put some real water in it. That just really pissed me off. Everyone's done their own helmets. I'd genuinely be surprised if there wasn't some special liveries. I think there is going to be, because I think we've seen some pictures of a Mercedes rear wing with some extra colour on it. So it looks like there's going to be some new liveries. I don't like any of the helmets.
Lando Norris has got it's a basketball.
The basketball, I like it. I'm a fan, but I know Joe. I sent it to you earlier today, didn't I?
Yeah.
A picture of it, and you're like, I hate it.
I just said thanks. I hate it.
I like it. I think it's a bit of fun.
It's going to be full of influencers as well, and Brundle's grid walk is going to be a fucking
it's going to be brilliant.
It's going to be interesting for sure. Did you see?
It's going to be brilliant.
Pierre Gasly was out for dinner with Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you see that? As you do.
Didn't he give him a helmet as
well?
They're just like at the dining table.
That's not going to fit on his head, is it?
It did. He put it on for a picture. His head fit.
I'll rate that.
So, but I just think when you're a sports star like Michael Jordan, because Pierre Gasly's brilliant and he's massive in the Formula One world, but you kind of think outside of Formula One, he's not a household name. No. And I just think that's someone of Michael Jordan's stature and somewhere in his house is going to be sitting. He's going to be like, oh, that's Pierre Gasly's helmet.
And people about who's that?
Not Senna, not Schumacher, not Hamilton.
He's a Grand Prix winner.
Oh yeah. He's won a race. He's going to have Italian Grand Prix 2019 winner Pierre Gasly's helmet. I just thought it was...
and many more.
Hopefully many more. He is a brilliant little driver. So, looking at this track, I think we've got 3 DRS zones, right?
Looks like it.
Indeed.
We've seen how powerful DRS is this year. I'm thinking maybe we're going to see a lot of action over this race, but who do you think that benefits the most coming into this weekend?
Red Bull. Because
I'm thinking that too, just based on Saudi.
Yeah.
So the thing is with Red Bull though, is if they can finish a race.
That is true.
That's where I sit. I've kind of very much, and I know we've obviously discussed this, but I've looked at every single race, and if Red Bull can finish, they should win.
Yeah. Every race that Max has finished, he's won, right?
Yeah.
2 out of 4.
All 2 of them. Yeah.
50%.
So you're saying Red Bull as if it's obvious, but it's obvious if they can finish. But the question is, can they make it to the checkered flag?
No, I don't think it's obvious. I think that was because the obvious choice would be Ferrari, right? Like,
not necessarily. I still think Red Bull are the fastest car this season.
I think with the way Perez dealt with Leclerc, not even Verstappen, that shows that, as you say, Luke, with reliability on their side, that I think they do have the best car.
Yeah, I don't think it's within doubt. I think they have the fastest car, but they've also got one of the most unreliable cars.
I just see them as a team that will fix that issue a lot quicker
100%
than other teams, I guess. I guess it's a different kind of issue to, for example, what I was kind of hinting at in terms of like Mercedes with their problems. I guess it's different kind of issues, isn't it?
It's a very good point. I think Red Bull will fix their reliability quicker than Mercedes will become competitive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is the biggest thing there.
Yeah. So, I mean, come this weekend, I think if Max is on that top step, we can start to really think that this is where they're gonna go onto a run as we go into the European season. So I think it favours Red Bull as well. I agree, but we've seen what Leclerc can do. Bahrain, for example. Do you know how hot it's going to be? And that's something I wish I'd kind of looked into.
I'll do that now.
Yeah, because I think that Bahrain.
I think it's going to rain. I might have made that up completely.
Oh, that's a plot twist.
It's going to rain.
It's going to rain, people.
Hot, by the way, 31 degrees for Sunday.
Okay.
They're racing at 8:30 our time. So what?
Yeah, it'll be like
afternoon there.
No.
It's going to be hot, humid, and thunderstorms.
Okay, so that shakes things up. It shakes things up.
Not really though, because Max can drive
in
the wet.
But so can Lewis, and I think this is his only opportunity to really make positions on the grid, is in the wet right now.
So here's the one thing though, and this is one of the biggest problems with Mercedes at the moment, as said by George Russell after the race, is they're struggling to get their tyres up to temperature, which is why they said they were better in Bahrain than they were in Imola, for example, was because they could get the tyres going quicker. So if it's warm, we might be able to see, like Australia, obviously the Mercedes race pace in Australia was actually pretty good. So if they can get the warmth into these tyres, which is one of the many issues they have, and it is nice and warm, maybe we can see an improved performance from them as well. I don't see them.
Could be wet.
Well, the big thing, the massive thing here as well, which we definitely haven't talked about, is no one's raced here before.
No, that is very true. I saw a quote earlier from Lewis basically saying these days, obviously, they get they'll be in the sim weeks ago doing this track because they'll have like a 3D print on the sim. And he was saying that he misses the old days where you showed up on Thursday, Friday, and that was it. That was your first time out there. And I do think that would be a lot. It'd be a lot of fun to have it back like that and to see how it catches out.
I would have liked to have seen that. And I mean, it's still going to catch people out, but
for sure.
But how exciting would it be to kind of look at like first practice and realize, other than maybe like a circuit walk or something like that, you're seeing the grid or the track the same time as the drivers. I think that's exciting. But
I mean, I've looked at the track. I've got it up now. I mean,
it's not great.
It's a big old straight, and then sector 3 is a big old straight, and sector 2, after you get through the twists and turns, is another big old straight. So it does look, and it's interesting because that DRS detection zone for sector 2 is right before all the twists and turns you go through there. So it's interesting because, people might slip off.
Oh, the Ferrari seems to obviously have a nice run through the corners. So let's say, for example, Leclerc gets his DRS going through that corners and it follows nicely. When we come onto that big long straight, we could see some very close racing between. I say Leclerc because I assume it's going to be Leclerc, but
we don't have that kind of, DRS is overpowered here, or we think DRS is going to be overpowered here. We've got no idea.
No. I reckon it will be though. I think it will be.
I have to agree. I think it will be a massive part to play in the final result. But
so we've got a fake marina. Do you know? I believe the Miami Dolphins stadium is in the middle somewhere as well. Is that right?
I think it's either next to it or right. I think it's where's sector 1 is. I think it's sort of around there.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
I think it's sort of in that gap around where sector 1 is. I don't think it's right smack bang in the middle of the track. I think it's over to the side there. But then this this marina and all sorts.
That marina is hilarious, man. Have you seen is it Craig Slater, the Sky Sports guy, that he's
doing the backstroke?
Doing the backstroke into it. It's like the most Alan Partridge thing I've ever seen.
It's just not
accidental Partridge.
And apparently, Giovinazzi. Someone was saying they want to see Giovinazzi walk on it because it's like Jesus walking on water.
Oh, that was the WTF1 podcast.
Yeah, he said he's going to be there. Yeah, he said he's going to be there. So that is content we can look forward to, I suppose.
It's just awful. Whoever's idea that was.
Oh, come on, it's class.
It's not.
But he's actually
though.
not got long hair anymore.
No,
he
no,
not?
I'm not talking
No,
about.
he's cut his hair off.
I'm not talking about Giovinazzi walking on it. I meant the idea of having like this fake marina.
I think it's just American fanfare, and I don't mean that with any disrespect, but you see
I
from the
do.
way that
You
they
definitely
do.
meant that. You definitely meant
No
that.
way,
with
no,
disrespect.
because look, at the end of the day, when we do our FA Cup final or the Champions League final, we don't, the field doesn't fold, and there's a big, we don't have the fanfare that they have over there. They do things a bit differently, and it's no different here. They're getting into Formula One. We've finally broke America. We've got 3 races there next year, and I think they just want to make it an event.
By putting a fake marina there.
Yeah, but it just like it adds to like the aesthetic of it to them. It
Okay.
doesn't to us. It doesn't to us. But that's just what I think.
I'll take your word for it.
Luke, we're trying to get an American audience here, dude. Like, well.
I'm trying to get an authentic audience. I'm joking.
Beggars can't be choosers. We had about 80 listens on the last 2 podcasts. So
Well,
Yes. Yeah,
80 is better than 70.
we need to break some new ground here, man. You're just saying stuff like that. Unbelievable.
yeah, we need to get invited onto Sky Sports.
Yeah, exactly. I want to be interviewed by Ted. And it's not going to happen if we keep slandering people.
I do no such thing.
So before we do our full predictions, I just wanted to get your guys' thoughts on who it's a big weekend for. Now, obviously, it's obvious every weekend is a big weekend for everyone. But obviously, so for example, I think this is going to be the most obvious answer of the day. Carlos Sainz has got a lot to do this weekend. Well, starting this weekend. He needs to finish the race first and foremost.
Yeah. There's no gravel though, so he's all right. There's no gravel.
Just a marina.
Imagine that in the briefing. Carlos, we're pleased to announce there is no gravel this weekend.
Yes.
You'll be fine.
But there is a marina, so if you get, if you get stuck in there, oh my God, can you imagine a car went in there? It could drive out because it's just floor.
Might hit a boat.
It might hit a boat. I think it's a big weekend for Lewis Hamilton. I think maybe unnecessarily a lot of pressure is being put on him. Like people think he's forgotten how to drive. I've seen a lot of media, maybe I see more media because I follow him. But have you seen like how much people are questioning Lewis at the moment?
It amazes me. I saw a tweet the other week, not a tweet, sorry, it was an Instagram comment. It was like, oh, it's amazing how bad you are when you don't have the fastest car on the grid.
Yeah. Just the disrespect is...
I'm going to say something annoying to everyone.
Go. Do it.
Why has George Russell's lowest finish been like a P5?
Oh no, yeah, he's
smashing it.
He is doing it.
I know. Again, it's not me saying Lewis isn't doing well and George is doing really well. It's like he's getting obviously again outperforming the car just like he did at Williams. But how and no one has the answer to this question, so it's a little bit up in the air. But why is there such a disparity in what we're able to get out of, what should in theory be a simple machine?
Not to like completely defend him, which obviously I will till I die. But like his luck in, if we talk about the pit stop in Australia, he was clearly ahead of George before what happened. And then George got ahead of him and they brought it home. Imola with the pit stop issue, Saudi Arabia with the safety car just after he passed the pit lane, so he couldn't box. There is levels of misfortune to it, but the Lewis that we've known before gets over that adversity and still finishes, like you say, P4, P5. And George hasn't had these incidents and he's been bringing it home, but you do expect a bit more from Lewis in that aspect, I do feel.
Yeah, and it's not me saying that, why is Lewis doing this and that? I think it's just sort of as a highlight of everyone's saying the Mercedes is the 6th, 7th, 8th fastest car on the grid when we can't really say that's the case anymore, can we? It obviously still can go. And it's, it's nowhere near as bouncy as that fucking Ferrari, is it?
And I saw a graph that was like just showing the level of bouncing. I don't really understand it. But no, I think the Mercedes is more extreme earlier on. I think the Ferraris happens but only at top speed, whilst Mercedes happens halfway up the speed counter. If let's say Ferraris happens at 215 kilometers an hour, Mercedes has already started happening at 170. And then,
was it Imola when Toto was saying that they were having to lift off on the straights?
Yeah, just to save their brains a little bit.
Jeez.
So, yeah, I feel it's a big weekend for Lewis. I think that for some reason he needs to prove himself again a little bit. I think it'd just be nice for him to silence some doubters and sort of take the spotlight off of him a little bit. Is there anyone else you feel that there's like it's a big weekend for in particular? Someone that's like underperforming or overperforming? Or
Danny Rick, but I think Carlos Sainz is obviously the best shout, but Danny Rick as well, because Lando is doing well. Again, we can't say that the car isn't fast because, I mean, last week it was probably the third fastest car. So we have to say that Danny Rick should be putting in the performances. Again, obviously unlucky with the incident on lap 1 with Carlos. So, we can't blame him for that result specifically. But Lando is pulling that car and Danny's not yet.
Do you think Ricciardo is past it? Genuinely?
No, I think there might be an aspect of a mentality issue as much as there is a driving issue. I think that, when you go through sort of the change in teams and the run of results and watching Lando do what he does recently, I'm guessing that might not be the best thing for your confidence, and he might just be a man short of confidence, but I wouldn't say he's past it. No, I think there's definitely still speed in Daniel, and he's just trying to find it.
It's like that George and Lewis thing, though, isn't it? I know we're not talking about Daniel Ricciardo, the 7-8-time world champion, but we are talking about a very successful driver with a lot of wins behind him, a lot of podiums behind him, and a Lando Norris, who's been on the podium 3 times, 4 times.
Yeah.
So it's like there's Lando again overperforming, outperforming the car and dragging it to where it. Not this weekend, not 2 weeks ago at Imola, because I think that car was probably the third fastest car. But in general, he's just outperforming it. Whereas, there's a bit of a, I guess, especially with the young drivers that are new to a team and stuff like that. I know Lando's not new to a team, but like the young drivers that have got that versatility in them to do it in the car that's changing with the changing regulations and stuff. And there's the drivers that maybe have needed a little bit longer to settle, and Danny's just never settled in Renault or McLaren yet, had he? So
no. So the only thing I will say is obviously I really back him. Like I really like him, and I think he's got to be one of the most loved drivers on the grid.
Mm-hmm.
But there does come a point, and it's not yet, but there will come a point where McLaren have got to say, is this guy the best?
That's what I was about to say. I think being a likable driver doesn't, if it doesn't equal results.
Yeah, at some point you have to.
Can only take you so far. Ricciardo is one of my favorite drivers on the grid, but if you've got the likes of Lando constantly outperforming him every race.
Yeah.
That's the future of the team, isn't it? Like Danny's, he's not going to be here forever. He's not going to.
No, exactly.
He's not going to do a Kimi Raikkonen race till he's 41, is he?
No, but exactly what you said. He's not going to be there forever. So you need him to be performing right now.
Yeah. Well, otherwise they're just going to get someone like Piastri in the car, or someone that's ready to take it. Back onto drivers that I think it should be a big weekend for, and this is more of a hopeful one, but the car seems all right now for Haas. I want Mick to get some points.
Yeah, I think now. I mean, he had a horrible Imola. It was
3 spins.
Three spins. It just a real horrible weekend, and we're seeing K-Mag time and time again put in these performances. I know he's got to adapt, but yeah, I think we now, let's see some results.
It really looks like he can do it as well, doesn't it, Mick?
Yeah, let's see it. We're all rooting for you, man. Let's see it.
Everyone.
Yeah, Seb.
You know what I mean?
Seb is in the car saying, how did Mick do? And it was probably really hard for the engineer to be like, absolutely shocking.
It was just like, to be honest, mate, I don't know, but he absolutely knew, didn't he?
And then my last one before we do our predictions, I thought that was a big weekend for, is Fernando Alonso, because I think this year he's displayed some superb pace. We're talking like top end of the grid pace. And for 4 races, the man's got 2 points. Esteban Ocon has 20. I think
he could have been on pole in Australia.
Absolutely could have been on pole. And this is, I just think it's a big weekend for him. I think he needs to put a run of points together. We don't know if he's going to be here next year. And I just want to see him really, remind the grid one last time what this guy can do. Because he's had, obviously, it's horrible luck. But I just feel like Fernando may have a point to prove. Ocon's on 20 points. Fernando's got 2 points from the first 4 races in a car that is clearly a point-scoring car. So
yeah, Ocon's class as well. I know you like.
He
goes under the radar a bit, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he went 7th, 6th, 7th in the first 3 races before having obviously a tough afternoon in Imola. But gentlemen, let's talk the top end of the grid now for real. And where do we think people are going to come?
I think it'll be I think Max will win. To be honest, I think it's going to be more of a battle in qualifying than it will be on race day, personally.
Yeah.
Race qualifying, I know this is boring, but it's what I see happening. I think Max will just take it, but I think Charles will give him a really good run for his money, probably up until the final lap. And I just see Max running away with the race, to be honest, especially if it rains.
Yeah,
he's great in the rain. I think reliability aside, I think Red Bull are very on it, both from a strategic point of view and from Max's pace over the last couple, whenever he's finished.
Yeah.
So I do think it'll be Max to win, provided they have the reliability. Otherwise, I'm going to say Leclerc. I know it's really boring, but
you can only go on what you've seen.
So he's your pole and your win.
Yeah.
I'll have to make notes because I'll put the graphic up after.
Yeah, we will post it. So I'm still to this very second finding it hard. And I tell you why, because I know we like to do wildcard predictions on this show as well. And it's kind of a wildcard, but something's telling me that Checo's going to get involved in some way. So I'm going to back Checo for pole.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why, but I'm going to back Checo for pole, and I think Max will win the race.
Okay.
I don't know why that's my gut feeling. I don't know why. It might change tomorrow, but yeah. What are you feeling, Joe?
I like the idea of having not the same choice. So I'm going to go for a Leclerc pole and a Leclerc win. So we're going to go for a little double whammy from Leclerc.
I like that as well.
Otherwise, the graphic that I'm going to post on Instagram is going to look really boring.
Just loads of pictures of Max Verstappen.
Just loads of Max Verstappen.
Just one picture of Max. And say,
we just don't know. We just don't know. And I think, we could all choose again what we think might be the obvious choice in Max, and especially if it rains, it sort of makes it even more heavy in his favor. Like, I understand that, but I think we just don't know, and I think it's very possible that if Leclerc gets a good lap in, that Ferrari, apparently they're not bringing any upgrades for like the rest of the season. Like, they're just like, no, car's good, fine. So yeah, I think Leclerc could do it this weekend.
I mean, yeah, he's got every chance, and I think we all know that, like, no one is particularly wrong for thinking what they think, like, because it's so open, it's a new track and stuff like that. So I guess it's a bit I know I've kind of already done one. Just a wildcard prediction, like who do you think, is anyone going to get their first point of the season or anything like that? So like Latifi or anything like, I mean, yeah, that's
no, I think it's
that's too far, isn't it? It's too far.
There's wild, and then there's what you've just said.
I think it's more likely that Mazepin comes in, steals Magnussen's seat, and
just mid-race,
and gets the point himself. Yeah,
lops him out the car, gets in, and still beats Latifi. Yeah. Okay. What do I think? What do I think is going to happen? I see like a Ferrari Red Bull podium. I mean, you should see that any weekend, but with a couple of DNFs, I'm going to say that. I don't really know. I can't really think of anything. I'm going to say an Alpine in the top 5. I don't even know if
it's not that wild, is it?
I don't know if I really believe it either, to be honest.
Fair enough.
You're just saying shit for the sake of saying.
Yeah, that was kind of for the sake of it, I'll be honest.
I'm gonna do what you've tended to do, Callum.
Oh yeah, I like this.
I'm going to do what you've tended to do. And I just think if there is a small chance they've brought upgrades, right? And we've all counted them out before the weekend.
Hear him out.
If there's a small chance they've brought upgrades, because the rear wing definitely looks different from the pictures we've seen leaked online. I'm going to go for a Hamilton podium.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's my wild card. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So
I'm gonna say Mick to finish P10.
I think we're all rooting for him.
I would genuinely love that.
I think that's been your wild card a lot of the races, hasn't it, Joe? To be fair,
Yeah.
It's been there. I've done the Lewis podium. You've done the Mick points.
I reckon. Mick,
I think I did an Albon points as well. Like for the first race of the season, and he ended up getting points by Australia, wasn't it?
Australia, yeah.
I said my first one was has to get some points.
Well, that went K-Mag P5 in the first race.
Yeah, I did all right with that.
Yeah, done very well.
We need to check our F1 fantasy because I think Luke was running away with it until Ferrari had the shocker of the weekend.
It's now all very close in our fantasy, and in the next episode, we'll update you properly on our points. Maybe we'll post it on some social medias and stuff. Those will be plugged at the end of this video and at the end of this podcast as well. But yeah, we definitely need to have a look and see where we're at. But I think Luke is out front at the moment. Every cloud has a Kovalainen, I believe the team name is.
Oh, yeah.
And then what's my team called? Kalfa Tauri.
Yeah.
Which is just great. And then we have Max, Super Max, Super Max.
Yeah. No, they didn't stop me for characters either. So I think my team name is Max, Super Max, Super Max.
So
I don't think they stopped me for characters.
We will have a look. Have any of you made any changes for this weekend?
No, not at all.
No.
I've triple drivered Carlos Sainz and he's DNF twice. So
okay,
turbo drivered him. He's just been my turbo driver for the whole time. I've got both Alpha Tauris, and that car isn't any good. So I need to actually make a change. But the app is so rubbish.
It is bad, and I think it's been bad for a few years. They need to just make its own dedicated section, like the Fantasy Premier League. So we're doing a bit of a short episode today. We normally go on for a bit longer, but we are losing Luke very shortly. So we have a segment again. If you're new, you've just found this podcast.
You're acting like I'm dying.
Well, with a bit of luck, but anyway. So we what? No, Luke is going to do. Guys, Luke is off to do another podcast in a second. The whore.
I'm just in demand. That's what it is.
So goddamn whore.
So at the end of every episode,
and I like it.
We like to do a little segment called Guess the Driver. One of us each week will pick a driver. And this week it's Luke. We pick a driver. Joe and I, we're going to guess, and we're going to ask questions, and we're going to probe. And the first one to guess the driver wins. Generally, we normally give up after about 6 or 7 questions.
I think next season, right, or maybe the back half of this season, we can put an actual format into the points of it, and we can do a little forfeit and a winning prize and stuff like that.
We were, yeah. I think that's something we're going to do. But because we're quite new to podcasting, we're going to kind of work things out as it goes. So
I'll keep pop, guys.
If you fucking say Phil Hill.
2010 and after is what we've said, just because.
What?
Yeah, no, that's what it is.
Can I tell you something? Can I just show you something?
Yeah.
Who was it going to be?
Oh, you can't see because
it's Phil Hill. It's Phil Hill.
That was going to be Callum's first guess as well.
It actually was. Yeah, I would have got it. So
okay, let me think.
To do 2010 and after. It's a bit more for the audience that we're targeting. We felt that was the best way to do it.
Well, the last one that we recorded, Cal, 2 weeks ago, that I don't think it's been posted in the end on the old channel. I think you got mine. No,
I got yours.
We didn't win in the end. Neither of us got it in the sort of allotted amount of points, did we? But I picked Giovinazzi.
Yeah.
All right, I've got mine. I've got one.
Okay. All right. I'll fire away. Are they a current driver?
No, they're not.
They're not in the current driver setup. Okay.
What were the odds going to be of that happening?
Well, that's 20 drivers we can just scribble off straight away.
All right. Have they won a race?
They have indeed.
They have won a race. Okay. Are they European?
No.
They're not.
It's when it gets tricky. 'Cause
Why is he
everyone-
laughing? Why are you laughing?
It's
Everyone
not Phil
is
Hill.
European.
It's not Phil Hill.
Okay.
All right. Are they a world champion?
No.
You seem unsure.
I feel like you should know
Do you want to
No.
Google? Do you want to Google that before we carry on?
because we're talking the past 12 years. So if
Yeah.
there's a driver in the past 12
He's
years,
not. He's not.
Okay.
He's definitely not.
All right. Okay. Has he raced for Red Bull?
No.
No.
damn.
Mm. Mm.
Damn. Okay. Has he raced for? Actually, trying to think before I ask that question.
Oh.
Actually, trying to think before I ask that question because I'm not entirely sure, but I feel like everyone after 2010 that's raced for Ferrari has been European. But I've just put that question in there. So, has he raced for Ferrari?
He has.
Oh, is it Felipe Massa?
It's not.
Fuck.
Ooh.
So he has
Race for Ferrari, won a race.
not European.
Not European, not a current driver. Uh-oh.
I thought I nailed it. I'll be honest, and I've just lost a guess.
Mm.
Ferrari drivers, Joe, 2010 and after.
I'm trying to think of where they're all from now.
This has got to be so random.
The one thing I will say, it's a name you'd know. So it's not I've picked a really obscure name.
Oh
It's a
yeah,
name
no,
you'd
of
know.
course.
Wait.
That's-
I may be really confused about if this name is European or not. Is it Barrichello?
It is Barrichello.
Oh.
Ta-da! I was just thinking, I'm gonna get shit if he's European.
Well, I mean, you did say, where did you say Mark Webber came from that time?
Oh no, I thought he would race for Red Bull, didn't I? No, I thought
you
I
thought he was
British.
English.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it
I
is.
had
Rubens
Button
Barrichello.
in my head at that point. I thought you were gonna have
Fair
Button that
play.
time. Barrichello.
No.
Well
I was sitting there
done.
thinking, is that name European? Is he Brazilian?
He is Brazilian indeed.
So I went Massa. Fair play.
The other
Joe.
one, the only other
The only
non-European.
other, yeah.
Rubens
Rubens
Ferrari.
Barrichello, who had 68 podiums and 11 race wins.
Yeah, ledge. And he did have the most races until Raikkonen, right? I think he held that record.
I think
So
so too.
Raikkonen.
He finished his career with 658 career points.
Wow, what a ledge. What a ledge.
I don't think we set how many guesses do we have to get in for points. I think we wanted to say 5 guesses each, didn't we? It was sort of like a normal.
Something like that. I think it was going
normal
to be
number.
like, if you got it in 2, you get 10 points. If you got it in 3.
We'll
But
have to work out some sort of scoring.
You actually would have got solid points this week.
Yeah.
You did.
I think that was the
But-
first time anyone would have got points as well,
So
because we've been
if-
very rogue up until
If
now.
you hear the old episodes, you won't realize how impressive what we just did was.
It was very impressive.
Yeah.
But yeah, just to confirm, he did actually retire from Formula One in 2011.
Yeah,
Um,
you're all
Just
good.
about then.
Yeah, squeezed it.
Yeah,
Um,
just.
So I guess before we let you all go, we just wanted to sort of explain what we're intending for the future. Obviously, things change and things happen, but we're looking to post our podcasts. We're doing post-race shows, right?
Mhm.
You tell us, Cal, what are we doing?
We're doing post-race shows. We will record almost every Sunday evening with the occasional Monday evening, and we're going to get that up as soon as possible. Alongside
This weekend, we're going to do Monday just because the race don't finish till 11 o'clock, and then we've all got work on Monday
We're
morning.
working men, so we're going to do Monday this week. But generally, the races we're going to do our reviews more or less straight after on the Sunday, so you can get that content Mondays and Tuesdays. We will be posting it to YouTube as well. So if you're more of a visual learner, you can also visual learner.
I'll be honest, I wouldn't recommend watching this on YouTube. We're not.
You'll
that
probably go
attractive.
blind. You'll probably go blind. Please don't. Just stick to Spotify or Apple Music or wherever else. Just stay away from YouTube.
Just stay
It's
away
not
from
worth it.
YouTube.
Just protect yourself.
What have I got to work out how to post this on Apple Music as well?
I don't know. I've just said it. I don't know.
That's
That's down to you.
Uh-oh.
I'm just the whore that appears on these channels. I don't.
So we're also going to look at posting some clips to TikTok, YouTube Shorts, as well as the YouTube videos. We're going to also try and do some like podcast shorts. So, like for example, we have a quiz where we're going to do a quiz of 2021, and that'll be like a mini episode to fill the gaps that go in between the races.
Non-race weeks, and over the summer break and stuff, we'll try and fill some time and try and get one up a week hopefully as well. So we're going to commit to this. So follow us on the stuff and bits and bobs. I've got a link tree that we've made. So if you head to our Instagram, which is the Fourth Sector Podcast, if I'm not mistaken,
I believe it is. Yeah.
Our link tree's there. So you'll be able to sort of see wherever we are and what we're doing.
Yeah, you can find the old podcast, all the new channels and stuff like that. So share it with your friends, share it with your family if you go know any people that like Formula One and you enjoy what you've just heard. And if you haven't, it doesn't really get any better. So I just would suggest finding another podcast.
That was a relatively solid episode with not much off-topic stuff.
No.
We do tend to ramble on.
Yeah. But yeah, we're just happy doing this with just a few Formula One fans that really want to meet Ted. So, thank you so much for listening. We really do appreciate it. If you can let us know in any way that you've listened to this episode on any social medias, any interaction or comments on YouTube.
And tell us how much you hate Cal. That'd be great.
And I'm going to go and slander Luke off screen. So thank you very much for watching. Love you all. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
You fucking bitch.